happy.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, welcome to another week. Early Geek. We're here, and we're gonna talk about things and games.
First off, let's start off with fuck you, Skype, for teasing us with 16:9 ratios and then 4:3 ratios. What the shit?
Yeah, Chris Walczyk and Steven Petrella, they were looking svelte in widescreen.
Yeah, like I was ready to like change the UI of everything on our live show and everything, but then it was just like, no, fuck you, we're removing that from you.
And I'm Darren Bell, and I think I looked okay, but I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you looked swell.
Dapper. Thanks.
Swell.
Thanks for that, guys. You jerks.
I did not say that sarcastically. I mean that.
No, me either.
See, I can never tell with either of you. More Steve than
but you can see it in our faces, so I think that's
guys, I'm blind.
Well, shit.
Legally blind.
Shit. Yeah, welcome again to Utterly Geek. In our post E3 days, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, but we've been talking a lot about Overwatch, so we won't need to talk about Overwatch. Well, there's a little bit of news, but and Witcher 3.
Nice.
Holy shit, Witcher 3. I've been gone back to that game. And we are, is it? Oh, shit.
Well done.
That is the... Hold on.
Oh god. Oh no. There you go.
Right one.
That's the one.
Right.
Maybe we actually are professionals here.
I've got to rename them. This is confusing me. We're talking about video games and The Witcher 3. God, what was it? Yesterday was Sunday. I spent the majority of the day playing Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of the day on one quest.
As standard.
Oh my god! But it wasn't quite one quest. I'm to the point where in Act 1 you have to go do the Bloody Baron stuff or the witch stuff, and oh my god, just doing that took me like 4 or 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But my god, the payoff when you get to those, Steve, you know what I'm talking about. Those 3 witches are some of the most grotesquely designed monstrosities. I fucking love it.
Fucking awesome, yeah. Yeah, that part is awesome.
They're disgusting. Like
Got the little kids around them and everything. It's fucked.
You know they're a boss fight coming, but when you first see them, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You don't fight them. They're just like, yeah, well, you did our shit and whatever, and you're like, but your monster, I have to kill you. They're like, not now, peace out, and they just fucking leave.
Yeah.
Man, it's so good. Did you even get that far, Wally?
No.
Then
I didn't. I got only like 2 or 3 hours into the game. Just as the world started opening up, that's when I stopped playing.
Some of the coolest stuff is like bait and switch stuff, where all of a sudden it feels like you're playing a different game.
Yeah.
It's really good. And I'm determined to finish the story. The problem is, at this point, it just gave me the, hey, you need to go to Novigrad. That's your next place to go. And it's got a big red fucking skull on that quest. That's my next quest. It's like, oh, you need to be level 22. And now I'm level 10.
Yeah.
So now I have to go do all of the side stuff and try to touch as many of those silly little question marks as possible.
Yeah.
That is definitely a game you can lose your soul in.
Yep.
I think I didn't even get to level 10 with that game. I think I got to like 6 or 7, something like that. I was definitely like 2 or 3 hours into that game.
Yeah.
Before I had moved on to other things. It wasn't by choice in a sense. I mean, I guess it kind of was because there were like other games that came out and I was like, oh, shiny. But
level 6 or 7 is not 2 or 3 hours. You put at least 7 into that thing.
Probably without realizing it. You know, it's one of those games where you're like, oh yeah, I put like a few hours in, but it's like fucking a day and a half or some shit.
Yeah, and like we were talking about it, Wally. I'm like, yeah, this game's really fucking good. And you're like, yeah, that's why we gave it Game of the Year. Oh right, we did.
Yeah.
Now I'm reminded why.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's about that in silly phone games, but I don't like to talk about them.
The only one I like to talk about is Plague Inc., which is the only one that I have been playing for the last month, 2 weeks now.
Yeah, Wally and I both deleted Clash Royale. Just saying.
I deleted Clash Royale in the worst way possible.
We don't need to go into it.
No, we don't need to go into it, but basically, freemium games I'm going to avoid for the rest of my life, more or less.
Yeah.
That's a good policy to have.
Yeah. So, but I've been loving Plague Inc. I totally chipped $1 at it because fuck it, why not? And it's $1, and it's the full game, and it's wonderful, and I'm actually enjoying it. But mobile games aside, with the Steam sale going on, I've been playing. Let's see, I got the Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. I am about 3 to 4 hours into that game. And I was going to continue it, and then I got Just Cause 3, and then I was playing that for the last 2 days. Because that game's so fucking good. Just a great game to turn my brain off and just enjoy all the explosions and just stupid fun for it. But yeah, I definitely want to play through Deus Ex because I want to be ready for the next one.
Did you not finish it when it came out?
No, I finished the core game and I did play Missing Link, which was the DLC. I did play all of that. I did play and finish both games. So I'm basically just going back and replaying the director's cut just to see what they changed in it. And also so that way I'm ready for the new one. So that's my whole purpose. And considering it's $5 for a game that I've put like 30 to 40 hours in, that's fucking worth it. And yeah, and then Just Cause 3, and that's I've been doing that, and then replaying Heavy Rain, so that way I'm ready for Detroit.
Wally, it's not a sequel. Just so you know,
I
isn't
know.
a sequel.
Well, the thing is that I wanna get into the Quantic Dream, like, you know, feeling and mindset of like how those games are. So I've just been replaying them just to replay Quantic Dream games.
Well, there is a theory. There's a fan theory out there, and I kind of like it, that the investigator from Heavy Rain is actually an android.
Yeah.
From the future.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
He's been sent back.
he was in the first trailer of Detroit. He was in there at one point.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, the PI was there. Like, his face was in there. It was the scene when he's yelling at one of the... Yeah, it's just his face. But he was yelling at one of the androids, like, up close, like, really close to his face. Yeah, if you go back and watch the trailer, it's the part when Kara says, "There's nothing but anger and hate in this world." That's when you see a guy yelling at an android, like, in his face. He's grabbing him by, you know, the fucking collar, and that's his face of the private investigator from Heavy Rain. They use the same face model, so that's probably why people are saying that. Oh, it's the same person.
Well, not only that, but if you look at it, like, all of the androids, they've got that blue circle and weird blue blood and weird things, like how it's assumed that they project an image over their eye is very similar to the glasses that he had.
Right.
The RE system.
Yeah.
So they think that he's a rudimentary android.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm willing to play with that headcanon.
Yeah. I mean, not that any of the Quantic Dream games ever had any connection with each other. I mean, they've all been their own thing. So, but whatever. And then Diablo, which we played yesterday. Yeah. Which we played a little bit of, and then I've been playing with my girlfriend on the side doing the adventure mode. And
oh, you got a little action on the side.
Oh yeah,
is that how this is?
I always get a little side action.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Demon. Okay, so we were talking about this when we were playing it. Demon Hunter in Diablo 3 is totally the Proto Reaper.
Yeah.
There has to be a bloodline somewhere. He has to come from a long line of demon hunters.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All of his abilities are there. That's why I'm always doing the twirly shot.
The twirly shot, the vaping, the teleporting. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a demon hunter. Totally a demon hunter.
But yeah, and yeah, God, I think after we stopped playing Diablo, I just wanted to play more Diablo. It's like once I get that fucking hook of Diablo, it's like, man, I want to keep playing that shit.
Game is so much fucking fun.
It really is. And that's what I don't get. Like, my higher functioning human brain is like, this is just an endless loop of repetition.
Yeah.
And you're doing the same things over and over again. But then my lizard brain is like, but that one's orange. You need to get that orange one.
Yep.
What if they were all orange?
Yep. Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. And then once you start getting to the point where you're really unlocking skills and passive skills, and then you max out, and then you get adventure mode, and then you want to fucking get more legendary items, and yeah.
It's a vicious cycle, but it's an addicting vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And fucking it feels good, like it's rewarding.
Yeah.
It's just nice to kick the shit out of a bunch of things and not die very often, you know?
Like yesterday, it felt so good. Like, we started getting our shit racked, like just getting destroyed. And then it's like, okay, fine, let's go back to town, craft a whole bunch of better armor, better weapons, then go right out there and just fucking one-shot all of them. It's like, yeah fuck you now.
Yeah. Which I did realize that when the numbers pop up on the screen, that's when you do a critical hit.
Oh, that's what those... Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
I'm just so used to it with my other character, with my my witch doctor, because it's just like I'm constantly seeing numbers pop up, but that's also because I have like my critical hit chance like super fucking high with like high damage output. Yeah. So yeah, I'm used to seeing the numbers, but yeah, whenever it pops up on the screen, that means that you've done a critical hit, and it just shows you how much that is.
Sweet. Steve, what about you?
I've been playing this game called Leap of Fate. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's like a little indie game that's kind of like a Geometry Wars type game.
Okay.
But you're like a little dude who does magic and shit, and it's fucking hard as hell. And it's like there's like only like 6 levels. I've only gotten past I've gotten into the 4th level.
Okay.
And it's like a little creepy nightmare town where you have to just kill all these little like dolls and shit, and it's weird and cool, and the graphics suck really bad. But like I don't know, it's I don't understand why they suck so bad. Like,
yeah,
I was talking to my friend about it the other day. I was like, dude, why? Because it's not like it looks good in a certain way, you know? It's not like, oh, I'd go back to those graphics because that was fucking cool. It's like you go back to those graphics and it's kind of like, eh.
So, what are you talking? Is it like an ASCII, or is it like...
No, it's like 3D graphics, but it's just like it doesn't look like it's in HD. It just looks like shit.
Looking at the game, I pulled it up on Steam. Looking at it, yeah, it seems very like something that could have come out about 10, 15 years ago. Leap of Fate.
Yeah, oh yeah, it looks like, seriously, it looks like it came out in like 2007. Like, that's what it looks like it came out in.
Although it's very high on Metacritic. It's got 80 out of 100, but...
It's a fucking awesome game. It is so much fun, but it just kind of looks like crap. But it's still, like, the way, like, the magic system and the way that you have to kill things and the way... It's like this... It's interesting because it's all card-based, too. So each level is like a card. There's, like, tarot cards that come out, and then they flip over. And when you beat that level, then it flips over a couple more tarot cards until you unlock the Guardian card, and then you fight the Guardian. And then you go on to the next stage. It's just, like, a really interesting way to do it. It's a very simple game, but it's hard as fuck.
It looks like a weird mix of, like, Hand of Fate with Diablo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Interesting.
It's awesome. I definitely, like, if you like those kind of games, I totally recommend it. I mean, it's probably pretty cheap right now.
It's like $4.
During the Steam sale, yeah. For $4.
It's 10.
Oh, it's $10. It's still worth $10.
I was just
to be honest with you. Like, I think it's worth $10. It's a really good game. And then I bought Salt and Sanctuary because I hate myself.
I was eyeing that one too.
Yeah.
Well, I bought that they had like a pack, and I looked at all the games. I'm like, I think I like all these this style of games. So I just bought. There's like a $30 pack of games, and that came with it. And I mostly bought it because that came with it. But the other games looked fucking cool too.
Strider,
So
Axiom Verge,
Mm.
Shantae and the Pirate's Curse,
yeah,
and Momodora. That's the pack.
yeah, it's a good pack of games. So I've been playing that. I think I played like 3 or 4 hours of it, and that game is so fucking hard. Oh my god! Well, I mean, it's pretty much a side-scrolling Dark
Souls,
you know?
yeah.
It's because I mean it's pretty much everything that Dark Souls is just side-scrolling. Like you collect salt and you bring it back and you go to your sanctuary and you gain levels with it and stuff like that. And then if you lose, they take your salt away.
Yep.
And you lose all the time. And it's like, oh, it's so fucking annoying. So you go, one time
Selling it real well.
yeah, I'm selling it really well. I love games that are annoying like this. But I went after the first boss, and I didn't go back and fucking give my salt in. And he took my salt, then I went at him again, and died again, and lost all my salt. And I was like, fuck this game. I'm done with this game. Never fucking playing this game again. But then I went back to it and I beat his ass.
But then you queued it up again.
Yeah. And now I feel good about myself. But no, it's awesome. If you like Dark Souls and you like old school side scrollers, it's fucking sweet. It's just super hard.
That game's got a real good like hand drawn look to it.
Yeah.
Oh, the art style is phenomenal. It looks so good. The music is great.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting game, and there's like just funny classes that you can be. Like I chose to be a chef. And I was just beating zombies with a frying pan. It was pretty awesome. Throwing potatoes at people. It's pretty ridiculous and awesome and frustrating, but I definitely recommend it.
Nice.
And yeah, that's about all I've been playing.
I forgot about the Steam sale. So I already spent all my misbegotten money from TF2 selling items.
Yeah, I have too. Actually.
Yeah. But I didn't spend a penny out of pocket this year for the Steam sale, and I'm done. I told myself once I burn through that money, that's it. No more.
Done.
Yeah, I actually spent some of it on the Steam Link. I spent some of it on that, and then the rest went towards Michael Bay 3. So that was pretty much about it.
Fair enough. I grabbed Cradle, which I haven't started yet. That's like a first-person Myst-like game where there's these robots and AI. But what really gets me about it, there's all these robots, right? But they're FMV.
Mm-hmm.
But the only part of the robot that is actual full FMV are their eyes. They have these like goggles where it's playing video of human eyes, and it looks really strange. And all of the reviews are basically like, yeah, you just explore and you find the story from there. And there's really not a lot of objective. It's more like vacationing. It's a vacation simulator, I guess you could call it. And then picked up Darkest Dungeon, played that for like 3 hours. Man, that fucking game. You want to talk about a game that fucking hates you? So, it's got this weird stress system. So when you run out of... You have to bring in torches and shovels and a whole bunch of equipment into the dungeon when you go in.
Mm-hmm. And
you have to keep torches lit, and they slowly burn down. As it gets dimmer and dimmer, you experience different status effects. So if it's above 75%, all your people are pepped up, they're ready to go, and they're not going to be really stressed out. By the end of the dungeon, I was out of torches, so they're in complete darkness, and their stress is just getting higher and higher and higher. Mm-hmm. And once their stress breaks, they reach their breaking point, and then they develop, like, quirks. So my knight became abusive.
Mm-mm.
My nun became selfish. So, like, occasionally she'd have bouts of selfishism where she would only heal herself and I couldn't control her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the knight would become abusive and just morally degrade everyone else on the team. One guy was seriously hurt. He was at death's door, which is a whole mechanic in the game. If he takes one more hit, he dies, maybe. So he took a hit, didn't die, and the knight just says, Good. You should die. It'd give me more room to swing my sword. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And like I got into the second dungeon, lost a guy already. Man, that game, it's good, but fuck. People can get permanent psychoses in it, which then back at town you send them to relax and they're out for the next round. But man, Darkest Dungeon's good.
Yeah, I remember hearing that was really
So
fantastic.
And speaking of Souls Lights, I picked up Hyper Light Drifter. Haven't really started it yet.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
And then Stardew Valley, because Stardew Valley.
You know, in case you feel like just farming for a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking Animal Crossing, but it's so much more. It's so much more.
Oh
than
yeah,
that.
no, I know. I
man.
heard all the reviews
It's
about
totally
it. It's the 2015-16 version of Harvest Moon,
I
basically.
kind of want it on my 3DS, but I'll settle for it on PC right now.
Yeah.
And then I picked up Stellaris because why wouldn't you? And then Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball, which I highly recommend to any human being alive.
I did buy it. I've yet to play it.
We should play it. It's $3. It's online. You're a robot with a giant wheel playing dodgeball, and there's like rolling momentum and things. Like you can't stop on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch balls out of the air. It's really fucking good. It's like a first-person dodgeball robot game.
Yeah, I did watch the gameplay of it, and I am interested in it because it's one of those games where it's kind of like Quake, where it involves like timing and precision, and
Definitely.
basically you're constantly moving all the fucking time, so you have to be careful of where you're moving and where you're aiming, and make sure that the other person doesn't catch the ball, otherwise you're out. And yeah, there's a lot to it. It just seems like it's one of those games where it's easy to play but difficult to master in a sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like a more indie Rocket League.
Yeah.
Because all of the levels look like the internet levels from Time Splitters, if you know what I'm talking about. Like the cyberspace levels.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that's the whole visual aesthetic. It's all neon and black, and they play thumping club music. It's good. And then for 99 cents, you can also pick up Particle Mace, which is this weird physicsy game. Think asteroids,
Okay.
but you don't have a gun. Instead, you have weighted balls connected to your ship that you have to get spinning in momentum, and they're maces. And that's how you kill things, is slamming them with the maces while also dodging things.
Okay.
It's a really, really cool game. It's currently 99 cents on the Steam sale. Comes
Sweet.
highly recommended.
All right.
But yeah, I really like what they're doing with the Steam sale this year with everything available from the get-go.
Yeah, I basically just looked through my wish list. I was like, okay, what do I want out of all of these things? It was so much easier to just do than being like, okay, let me wait till the flash sale and all these things. And
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Speaking of which, there's a little bit of news in that. Are we ready to transition into the news?
fuck it, let's do
Sure.
I promise I'll play the right sound.
it.
News! So, first thing here, related to the Steam sale, actually, they've changed how that recommended Steam queue is coming to you. You now have customizable options for it, which are very pro-consumer. The only issue I have is that they don't like slap you in the face with it. Like if you go to start your queue, then there's a little button that says customize your queue, and in that you can select from whether or not you want to include early access products, software, or unreleased products. So stuff that isn't out yet, don't fucking show me that shit.
Which is exactly what I unchecked. That and early access. Like, I only have just finished games.
Well, software is also like Studio Max and stuff like that.
Right.
Also, you can exclude tags. So I can type in MOBA and hit add, and it will never show me anything tagged as MOBA.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't like first-person shooters or walking simulators. This is great. This is great. I'm very happy
Yeah.
that they're putting this in. It's just them becoming more pro-consumer, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. And it's kind of interesting because I'm seeing. At first, I was kind of bummed about there being no flash sales or whatever, but
Then you watch Total Biscuit.
yeah, and then I kind of understood. Yeah, fuck. What was I thinking? Because it's not really pro consumer. It's just
No.
like it's a chance for you to. You have to. Hell, I remember even during Christmas time, I was constantly checking my phone and being like, okay, what's available right now? Like, what's
Hmm.
available at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and then what was available before I went to bed to make sure that I wasn't going to miss anything. And then first thing I woke up, I would check again just as soon as that cycle restarted. Like, those were the three moments where they would cycle the flash sales or the daily deals or
Hmm.
whatever. And yeah, totally agree that like I'm actually kind of glad that they did get rid of it because there were times where I wanted a game that was on the flash sale and I remember seeing it and I was like, "Oh, I'll pick it up later." But then I got busy like hanging out with friends or family and then I would sign back on and then see I missed it and be like, "Well, fuck. Now I lost that, $10
Hmm.
discount or whatever off of that game. I'll buy it now or wait until the end and then wait for
Hmm.
one more big push for all the sales and then go for it." So yeah, I'm actually really glad that it is just like, okay, here it is, here's the sale, and then they just highlight certain games on the front page every day,
Yep.
and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yep. It's really great, and I think it'll keep people from being fucking stupid and buying everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like there were cases, if you followed on Reddit, where there were cases where a couple of people are like, I now can't buy food because I bought all these games on the Steam sale.
Wow.
Can someone buy me a pizza? Like, you're an idiot.
I don't think I've ever gotten that bad, but shit, yeah.
No, no.
No,
I
not
Uh,
even
I would have.
close.
I don't think we'd be friends if you got that far.
Yeah.
no. Whenever the Steam sale started, I always checked my bank account, made sure that I had enough, and always had a limit, and be like, okay, I'm spending this amount, and
You
that's it.
set you set yourself a hard budget. Like
Yep.
for me, it was I sold digital goods, so once I blow through my free money,
Yep.
like
Exactly.
yeah. Plus, you don't need to buy that many games. You're not going to play through them all by the time the next sale comes.
Yep.
Let's see. In Giant Bomb news, Giant Bomb East Austin Walker announced at the end of E3 that he would be leaving Giant Bomb. He is now going to work for Vice to run their new gaming site. So
Okay.
there is, and Giant Bomb, as far as I know, has not posted any openings, but they're trying to figure out what to do with their new vacancy. But as of the end of last week, Austin Walker is gone from Giant Bomb. I wish him well as the biggest Giant Bomb fan here.
Didn't he just join, or am I thinking of someone
Yeah,
else?
yeah, he was there for just over a year.
Oh wow. Okay. So it was who
He's,
I was thinking of.
yeah, and he started applying to Vice, and he's like, I love it here, but this could be so much greater because Austin always had a really weird, not really weird, a very unique way of writing for Giant
Yeah.
Bomb. Like he always came up from this very academic approach, and
Right.
it was clear that Giant Bomb, he was welcome there. He's a great positive force on that website,
Oh
but
yeah.
everything he was writing felt like it was meant for something different.
Yeah.
I hesitate to use the word greater, but just different. Like he has a very unique, very open interpretation
Mm-hmm.
of games, and anything he does in the gaming space is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
He brought a very unique perspective to Giant Bomb, and I wish him all the best luck on
Yeah.
his.
And I think that's why Giant Bomb brought him on was because he had that
Right.
unique like perspective on everything. But I guess I mean it was just maybe because he was the only one. Like maybe if it was him and one other person that had the same kind of like perspective on games, maybe they'd be able to play off of each other and it would be a
No,
little bit
no,
more comfortable. I don't know.
no. It wasn't uncomfortable at all. He fit in great
Right.
at Giant Bomb. Giant Bomb East content was some of the best. Go watch Project Beast.
Hmm.
That's Austin Walker, Vinny Caravella, and Alex Navarro playing Kerbal Space Program with the mission of getting a Kerbal from the Earth to the Moon, from Kerbin to the Moon and back
Right.
alive. in multiple stages. It was like a 12-episode series. Every episode was like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's basically 3 guys who know nothing about rocket science trying to do this, and it's fucking great. Fucking great.
Much like any other time I've tried to play Kerbal Space Program.
Oh, I know, right? But yeah, I love Giant Bomb. I love Austin Walker. It'll be interesting to see who they fill.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my eye.
I'm not saying what I was saying previously is that's what it was that was happening. I'm just saying I'm just saying what if if there was another person that was like Austin Walker, like that's all. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's kind of the great thing about Giant Bomb is that everyone has their own understanding, their own knowledge set. Like there's very little redundancy there, and so it ends up being whenever they talk about one topic, one person's always very clearly, oh, I know this. This is the thing. Let me explain it to all of you, and they always constantly ask questions. That's the important thing, and that's why I like Giant Bomb so much is because they constantly ask questions.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yeah.
Enough globbing on Giant Bomb. They're great people.
Moving on.
You guys see my video feed?
No.
Yeah, you're stationary.
You're frozen, but that's okay.
Because I can hear you guys, but I can't see you guys.
Okay.
Great. I just thought you were very contemplative.
Yeah.
He had a lot to think about with the Giant Bomb subject. That's all.
I was
Let's see. We'll soldier on. You can still hear us, right?
Okay, now I can see you guys.
Cool.
All right, there you go.
Wait, now you guys are frozen again.
Whatever.
Well, fuck it.
We'll figure it out.
Video's gone.
Just have to restart your video, Steve, and then we're good.
Next topic. The Xbox One standard version has dropped price to $280. They cut $20 off of it.
What?
Yeah.
That seems like so weird for fucking $20 and that's it.
It's a very strange price cut considering the Xbox One S is coming.
I mean, maybe if it was like $50 or something, but like 20? Like what the fuck?
50 is your typical console price cut, not 20. It's $280 for the Xbox One standard now.
Okay.
So okay, sure.
I guess.
You can chip in if you don't have one yet and you really want an Xbox One, wait for that S. And for $20 more, you can get a smaller one that has that fucking power brick built into it. So weird. Fable Fortune, you remember talking about that one?
Mm-hmm.
The Kickstarter got canceled.
Okay.
They secured funding elsewhere. Beta sign-ups are now open. So that's good news, I guess.
Is it though? I mean,
what a weird little game.
Yeah.
Flaming Fowl Studios. They have nothing to do with Microsoft or Fable. They just got on Microsoft's good side and got the Fable license. So,
and good for them.
Apparently, they got someone else's attention too. So
I mean, maybe it could be the case of that Microsoft is just like, we don't know what the fuck to do with this franchise, and then people are like, well, we do, and they're like, all right, fine, here, fucking have it. I don't know.
No. Yeah, but at the same time, Microsoft explicitly said, are you making an RPG? They said no. They're like, great. As long as you don't make an RPG with a Fable license, you can do this.
Yeah.
Which makes me...
Maybe they're using it as like saying, if that, maybe watching it and keeping their eye on seeing if it sells well and does well with people.
Yeah, it's a good...
That they should actually go through with making another Fable game.
Please make a Fable 4 and make it better than 3. Fable 2 was real good.
Mm-hmm. I've yet to still even touch any of the Fable games.
Any of them?
Any of them.
Man,
I haven't touched them either.
Yeah.
Man, start at 1.
Obviously.
Then go to 2.
Mm-hmm. And then stop at 2.
Well, so... Here's my problem with 3.
I know that 3 has like some good things about it, but some really awful things for it.
So the whole thing with 3 is what kind of ruler will you be? You're the prince or the princess of the whole world of Albion.
Mm-hmm.
and your dickhole brother has basically forced you out, and now you're building a ragtag team of people, and you're making all these promises. Well, when I'm king, I'll build an orphanage, and when I'm king, I'll give you guys houses. And then, like, you make all these promises and have to sign all these contracts. And then the latter half of the game is making good on those contracts. And it's so arbitrary and ham-fisted in how it executes on that, that the latter game's kind of bleh. And I had a personal problem with the final boss. Like, they had an opportunity to make something really fucking cool and really fucking huge that we hadn't seen before, and they just kind of squander it. But it's still a decent game. It's plagued by terrible frame rates and issues.
It just almost reminds me of Arkham Knight. It's like this big build up for this new character, and it could have been totally fucking awesome, and then it was like, oh, okay, all right. So that's how we're doing it, Rocksteady. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. This was the first game where there was evidence of another continent in the world of Fable, and it just feels kind of depressing, and it's just a bummer when you get there, and it's like, oh man, this could have come on. I like Fable, and I want it to be better than it has been.
Right.
Fable 1 and Fable 2 were both really good games. Fable 2 had some issues, but they all did. But 1, I think, is the purest game. And you can get the HD re-release on Steam for pretty cheap right now, I believe.
Yeah, I know that Fable 1 Anniversary is available for $5.24 currently.
Yep, that's the one that came out on the Xbox 360, or is the Xbox One?
Xbox One, if I recall.
Was it?
Yeah, I feel like Fable 1 came out on Xbox, and then Fable 2 is Xbox 360.
Fable Anniversary was Xbox 360.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there hasn't been a Fable on the Xbox One.
Okay.
Womp womp.
Yep.
Yeah, that Fable 2 and 3 were both 360.
Okay. But I know that Fable 1 is available on Steam, but Fable 2 is not.
Wasn't Fable 3 was for a bit.
Not from what I'm seeing.
Not right now.
So never.
Fable Fortune is on Steam. Anyway. Yeah, make me another Fable game. Make it good. Make it good.
Right.
In VR news, Oculus has updated their DRM on the Oculus Store. They have removed a hardware check, a headset check from the DRM, which should help people take that software and make it work on the Vive.
You mean the Oculus?
No, the Oculus Store has removed the hardware check.
Oh.
It used to check to make sure, is this an Oculus? Yes, it is. Go and play.
Oh, okay.
Now it doesn't do that. It just goes, is this a headset? Okay, I think I need to put video out to this headset. If you've watched anyone try to deal with video input as they're streaming, like VR streams, it's a shit show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it doesn't know who's going where. Half the time, the person with goggles can't see anything. It's great. It's so good.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a new piece of technology, so the hardware doesn't know how to handle a new piece of hardware, where video should go and where it should be recorded, so I can understand that. But no, that's good. That's finally fucking... I obviously did not see it lasting that long with the DRM because seriously, that was like such a dick move.
It could go one way or the other, man. They could either just totally back off on it or double down. There was only two ways that could go.
Right.
And luckily, they went more pro-consumer with it.
Yeah.
And they issued a statement that they swear off the use of hardware checks as DRM. So.
It sounds like the same backpedaling from the Xbox One when it was first announced.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't share games, you can't fucking and then like 3 to 6 months later, oh shit, never mind, guys. Truth
be told, they still have to deal with all that shit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
people still think all that stuff is real. And it's amazing to see the Xbox One S now, just to see them strip out all the Matrix shit from it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all that stuff is gone now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Much different machine. Let's see. Last piece of news relates to Mass Effect. They're going to make another novel series that's going to link the original trilogy to Andromeda.
Yes.
Now, have you read any of the Mass Effect novels?
No!
Couple of them are cool. One of them's fucking garbage. Just so you know.
Okay.
The third one, let's see here. There was actually... the first three were the ones that I read. Apparently there was one that I didn't... Oh yeah, the fourth book. Don't read that one. Read the first three.
Okay.
Because one of them has to do with... the first book is Saren and Anderson. Their whole altercation and why they hate each other. It's basically Anderson when he was first being scouted for the Spectres, which they mention in the first game, but they never really go into detail. That's that book, and it's really cool.
Gotcha.
There's one of them that's all about a Quarian. He was on his pilgrimage, and you see inside the Quarian fleet and everything going on with that, and that's really cool. And then the third one is a back about Anderson and that blonde girl at the school, because they hint at her having a lot more information. And this is actually the book that gives explanation as to why, even though you put Anderson on the council, because who wouldn't put Anderson on the council, this is why he's not on the council.
Yeah.
When it comes around to the third game.
Okay.
But the fourth one apparently was so bad that they released a PDF statement that basically says, this is everything that's wrong in this book. Like, BioWare officially issued, this is all the errata in it. Like, holy shit. It's huge.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. BioWare stepped in and was like, nope, hold on.
Hold on, let's fix it.
Sorry.
Jesus, hold on.
And it's a huge fucking thing. Like, they don't know... They try to re-explain the history of the galaxy without knowing the source material. Like, oh, the Asari found the Citadel without use of a mass relay. Like, no, that's not at all. Sir, it's not how that worked. Like, yeah, it just doesn't stay true to the source material. But the first three books are pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because it's BioWare trying to maintain a universe and that they created, so it's kind of like consistency, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah, and the first three books have that in spades.
Nice.
But I'm looking forward to that. Anything in the Mass Effect universe.
Mm-hmm.
Do not watch Paragon Lost. Holy shit. That movie is awful.
Okay.
Again, not staying true to the source material.
Oh, fuck. Well, okay.
Fucking, what were they called? The spellcasters in that.
The Bionics?
Thank you. They instead of just having psychic abilities and doing shit, they have like charge packs in the movie. They're like, oh, I'd lift him, but I'm all out of juice. Like, what the fuck is...
That was kind of like how with Spider-Man, how when it was the Amazing Spider-Man, where he actually ran out of web fluid, and it's like, what? What?
Develop it.
You have to go back to your fucking basement to make more web fluid? Like, I don't understand. What the shit is this?
Yeah, it's sad. That was all I had for news. Very slow, and I think it's going to remain slow for a bit.
Oh, yeah. Post E3? Fuck yeah, it will be.
Yeah. Let's see here. Emails. utterlygeek@gmail.com. That's UTTERLY G33k @gmail.com.
Hey!
We have no new emails.
Aw.
Aww. But yeah. Womp womp. In other news, why don't we start this new section that we had only vaguely mentioned, but we will do right now live because fuck it. Upcoming releases.
Oh.
We talked about doing this every once in a while.
Oh, yes, that's right. I guess it depends on what's coming out. Or...
Yeah. Well, there were a number of games that were announced at E3. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, when this should go up, you can look forward to, on June the 28th, the Technomancer is coming out. 7 Days to Die is coming out. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Steve's gonna buy that shit.
On Wednesday,
yeah.
on Wednesday, Inside is out.
Okay.
That's the people play
Oh,
dead.
really?
Yeah, that's coming out on Wednesday.
It's already coming
Holy
out.
fuck!
Shit.
Really? Holy shit, dude!
Hey, there's my next game.
Yeah.
There it is.
Holy fuck! Yeah.
Let's see, on PS4, you also have Technomancer, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on the 28th, God Eater Resurrection, and Lego Star Wars.
Which all you mentioned already, or some of them.
It's also on the PS4.
Oh, okay.
PC, Shepherds of the Abyss, Zero Time Dilemma, also on the 29th, the 30th and the 29th, respectively. Yeah, that looks to be about it.
Cool.
So yeah, look out for that. Inside.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's probably a Windows 10 thing that I have to search for because I just tried searching it through Steam and it's like I don't fucking know. Like
Yeah. Fuck
I don't know shit, but it seems like it's gonna be.
Inside starts on Xbox One.
Okay.
Deal with it.
Fucking hell. I mean, I have Windows 10 installed. I don't know why I'm bitching. I just hate going through the fucking store because it's a pain in the ass.
Deal with it.
That's just me.
Deal with it.
June 30th on PS4, Doodle God.
My God.
Doodle God.
Yeah, that's it. That is your upcoming releases. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
We'll probably
Good
keep doing
addition.
that. We'll probably keep doing that.
a little bit more organized than last time.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'll just be like, hey, here's something I'm doing. Pull this out of my ass.
Yeah. We have to find new music,
Right.
or we
Yep.
can make it with our mouth.
I have to.
Upcoming games.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got it recorded. We will use it.
Let me punch it up a bit. Let me punch it. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
No questions, no live questions in the chat. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week when hopefully this isn't as much of a shit show.
Yeah.
No promises.
Well, hey, you know, I mean, it's not a full show if there's no shit show, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Man, fuck. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.